Good morning, students. This is Suman Chaswal, your English teacher and trainer. How are all of you? Good? I'm fine too, thank you. So, today let's do some vocabulary. A long time since we've done some vocabulary. We've been doing a lot of conversation. We have been doing speaking classes and grammar classes. So, let's again build up our vocabulary and learn some new words. Okay, because we have to now go from the basic to the higher level, and that will only be possible if we use a good vocabulary. So today I'm going to do some vocabulary with all of you and make your English more flowery, more advanced and a higher level. So let's get started. Vocabulary. Vocabulary, students, is so important. Unless and until you do not keep on adding to your language, it will not, the level will not increase. So we need to keep on adding words. There are thousands and thousands of English words. Every language has so many words. So we should keep on, some words we hear, some words we read. Okay, so we must know the meaning and then slowly try to use them in our also speaking. So then only that will be effective. Okay, so my first word is adapt. Okay, adapt, adapt. Now what does it mean? Does anybody know the meaning of adapt? When you have to, in our day-to-day life, we have to adapt ourselves. Means we have to adjust in so many situations, right? We have to adjust and also accommodate. So adapt means adjust or accommodate. In other words, we can also say like compromise. Okay, at every step humans have to compromise, adjust, adapt or accommodate at every step. Okay, so this is a very important word. In different situations we have to adapt ourselves, adjust to that situation. Okay, now try to frame it into a sentence. Try to frame a sentence. All animals adapt to their surroundings. All animals adapt to their surroundings. Adjust. Like you see, there's a green lizard. Right? We see a brown lizard in our houses, but in the jungles and forests you see green, because the color is green there. So they adapt themselves. The color also becomes green. Okay, they adjust. We go to a colder climate, so we are not used to that climate. So we have to adjust ourselves, adapt ourselves to that. We start wearing heavy woolen clothes, drinking hot tea or coffee, and trying to keep ourselves warm. We wear gloves and muffler and scarf and cap, woolen caps and woolen socks. So we are adapting ourselves to that extreme cold weather. So in summers we adapt to summers, okay, because it's very hot outside, so we remain indoors. Okay, we use the fans, ACs. Okay, we drink cold drinks, keep ourselves hydrated. So we adapt ourselves to the weather conditions. Okay. So every time we have to a situation, to a condition, we have to adapt. We go to a new environment. Suppose you go to some relative's house. Okay. Whatever comforts or things you have at your place, it's not available in your relative's place. But you have to adjust. Okay. You cannot say, oh, how will I stay here? If you have gone to their house, whatever they have, you have to adjust. Maybe at home you eat you have a lot of fruits, etc. But there you are not getting that. So you have to adjust. You cannot keep on complaining that I need fruits now, I need an AC all the time. Okay, because we have gone there and they are our relatives, so we have to adjust to that type of environment, their house environment. Whatever they eat, whatever they do, we have to do accordingly. They say, no, in Rome, do as Romans do. It's a saying, it's a proverb. Means wherever you go, whatever the surroundings are, whatever the people do, you have to do like that. You cannot go that no, I'll not do this. Okay, you will become an odd one out. Okay, so we need to adapt to our surroundings, to our situation. Okay, the second word is adept. There's just a difference of E and A. Adapt and adept. Adept. Adept means very skillful. Or knowledgeable. Lot of knowledge he has, skill he has. A person who has lot of skill, who's very knowledgeable, we say he is very adept in whatever he does. Okay, so that is meaning skillful. Expertise, you have an expertise in whatever work you do. Okay, so that is called adept. For example, a carpenter, he makes such beautiful furniture. Okay, there are few carpenters. Everybody makes furniture, but one has got that extreme beautiful skill that his furniture made by him it stands out. Okay, it's very different and it is very eye-catching. Everybody likes to buy his whatever pieces of furniture he makes. Okay, so because he is very skillful. Everybody is a carpenter, all that group is a carpenter, but his work stands out. Okay, so he's adept in his work. Okay, so let's make a sentence. The engineer was adept and won laurels for his work. The engineer was adept and won laurels for his work. Means the work that he did, he got lot of praises. Laurels means he got lot of praises. Okay, he was really praised. He was an achiever because he had skills, he had knowledge. Okay, so whatever work he did and won for his work. An engineer makes so many things, electronics or software engineer, what type of engineer. Okay, so whatever work he did, he got laurels for that because of his skillfulness. Okay, so the engineer was adept and won laurels for his work. Okay, so we can use this word adept. Okay, for example, I tell my colleague, you are very adept in your work. Okay, that means you are very skillful in your work. Okay, and if a person is adept, then he can achieve or go high in life. If you are very skillful, okay, you know your work, you are an expert, you will always achieve better than others. Okay, because you have the knowledge, you have the skill. Okay, so we can use this word adept. They are very similar, adapt and adept, and easily you can remember them. Okay. My next word is agitate. Agitate. How many of you know this meaning of this word, agitate? Okay, agitate means to be very upset. Okay, to become very upset. Somebody says something, you get very annoyed. Okay, and then you get that reaction, that is your agitation. Okay, so agitate means to be very upset. In other words, it could be angry also. Okay, when you're angry also, you become agitated. You know, when you get angry, you start speaking loudly, you start shouting, you have a lot of hand, body gestures, Okay, and even when you speak, all spit is saliva is coming out and all that, all these things. It shows your agitation. You get so excited. Okay, so agitate is when you're very upset, very angry. Okay, so let's try to make a sentence, and this is a situation that most of us always keep on getting. Somebody says something, we automatically react. Okay, so I was listening to. Have you ever heard about Gopal Gaur? He is an IITian, and now he has left that, and he's a motivational speaker. He speaks beautifully. So I just heard his one of his videos, and he was saying in that you must think and speak. One starts speaking, and without thinking we just react. Anybody says something, we just react. Okay, we don't try to understand or see the situation. So he says, at that time the only thing I can tell you is, I'm not teaching you that, oh, don't make yourself calm or try to do this thing, take a deep breath. No, nothing. He says, I'm only telling you because his guru told him one word, that wait. Whenever anybody says something which really upsets you, you get angry, you just wait. Instead of answering back or showing your antagonism or getting more angrier than what is the person is saying. So just wait. Okay? And that resolves a lot of situations, because when you wait, what happens? Your immediate reaction was to really give him back. But when you wait, then your mind cools and you feel that there's no need to speak as aggressively as that person. Okay, so very important thing is to wait. So try to inculcate this thing, that anybody shows some reaction or action or something which makes you very angry or upset, just wait. Okay, so I also learned this, and I'm trying to inculcate it, that don't react but wait. Okay, so agitate is to be very upset or angry. Okay, the crowd was, let's try to make the famous sentence. You also try. The crowd was agitated when the police stopped them. Stopped them to go further. Okay, the crowd was agitated when the police stopped them to go further, or stopped them from going further. That would be better. Stop them from going further. See, when you speak out, you find that this was a better way of speaking. Just like I said, from them to go further. Then when I read it out, then I felt no, from going further. Okay, the crowd was agitated when the police stopped them from going further, or lathi charged on them, or tear gassed them, whatever. Okay, so the became more agitated, very angry, very upset. And the crowd, the crowd gets, when a crowd gets upset, what is the word? It doesn't remain a crowd. It becomes a mob. Okay. When the crowd is agitated, crowd means people. Lot of people is called crowd. Okay, but so we see in a picture hall, we see in a fair, we see crowd everywhere, in the markets, on the streets. Okay, some rally is going on, some function is going on, so there's a crowd. But if the crowd means the people get angry, then they become a mob. Then they are called mob, not a crowd. Okay, crowd is peaceful people. Whatever is happening, they're peacefully watching, seeing, going about and all. But when they're angry, they're shouting slogans, raising slogans, or some placards they are raising, or they are holding sticks in their hands. Okay, and they are all shouting, screaming, and running, and all. So that becomes a mob. So another word for all of you, vocabulary: crowd and mob. the difference. Okay, so the crowd was agitated when the police stopped them from going further. Okay, so when you're very upset, you can say, don't get agitated. If your friend gets very upset, very angry, you can say, don't get agitated. Okay, this we can resolve this situation. Okay, so you can use this like this, and it is very important, common. This is a common, like I told you, reaction everywhere you will see. So you can use this word agitated. Okay, my friend agitated me by using some bad words, or he agitated me. What with anything, when he went against my wishes, I got very agitated. Okay, I got very upset. Next word is benevolent. Benevolent. What is the meaning of benevolent? Means generous. Very generous, kind. Okay. Person who's always helping others, always ready to help, be service to others. Okay, he's a benevolent person. Means he's very generous, he's very kind, he's always ready to help. Okay, so whenever we find a person who helps others readily, okay, without expecting anything in return, or whenever you ask him, that person, and he'll always say no problems, whatever you say I will do it, or I'll help you, or I'll support you. Okay, so that person is very benevolent. Okay, person is not only in giving money to the poor or to the beggars or to the people who are needy. Only that person is not benevolent. Benevolent is in all types of situation. When a person is very helpful, always ready to help. Okay, see somebody is in need. Okay, maybe you're going on the road and you see a person, and he's a blind person, he's not able to cross the road. You help him to cross the road. So you are a benevolent person, you're a generous person, you're a kind person, always ready to help with kind or cash. Kind means giving service, cash means giving money. Okay, sorry. So benevolent, to be generous, to be very kind. And in our this thing, we see those great people. Okay, they are so benevolent, they are so humble, they are always ready to help. Like one example comes to my mind, Mother Teresa. She was a benevolent woman because she was always there to help the people, needy, the poor, the sick. Okay, she was always there, and without any, and everybody knows her globally, around the world. Okay, so benevolent means generous and kind. Let's make a sentence. Mother Teresa was a benevolent person. Okay, that's why they say, most of the religions teach us service to mankind is service to God. If you want to have faith in God, you want to devote yourself to God. So it's not that you just sit and just keep on praying, or you keep on rotating the rosary. Okay, rosary, that thing, beads which we do our mantra, chanting. That is called a rosary. So by helping others, you are doing service to God. Okay, service to mankind is service to God. Okay, so that should be one of our humanly traits. Traits means our virtues, our quality, that we should be always ready to help anybody who is in the need. Okay, not shy away. That is why nowadays you see accidents on the road. People don't even stop. Okay, they just go, they avoid it and go. Somebody is lying on the road, absolutely bleeding, and but nobody stops to help. So, and that person, if he was given help at the right time, maybe his life could be saved. Okay, but nobody looks. Everybody just shies away. Okay, police case and this and that, and who's got the time? This, so that we should not do that. We should be always ready to help. Okay, so that is called benevolent, to be very generous. So Mother Teresa was a benevolent person. My next word is consensus. We know the word census. Census means counting of population. Consensus. Consensus means overall agreement. Overall agreement. Okay, consensus. For example, everybody agrees. Any thing is put forward, and everybody says yes to it. So that is consensus. Means everybody is giving overall agreement. Everybody is agreeing to that proposal or suggestion. Okay, some suggestion is put forward, and everybody, all those who are present there, they give the agreement. They say yes to it. So it is an overall agreement. That means consensus. And this happens so many times in the class also. The teacher says, okay, how many students want that I should take a test tomorrow? So some say, ma'am, not tomorrow, day after. Some say on weekend, Saturday. Okay, so but the whole class says, yes, ma'am, take tomorrow. So it is overall agreement. So consensus. That by consensus, it has been agreed that tomorrow ma'am will take a test. Okay, so even in a meeting, so many suggestions are put forward for the betterment of the company, the organization. So then they asked all the members sitting there, do you think that we should go forward with this policy or this plan? So everybody says yes, that it is overall. So it is the consensus of the board, of the meeting members. Okay, so consensus means overall agreement. So let's make a sentence. The consensus was to follow the policy. So to the policy, there was an overall agreement that everybody agreed that we must follow this policy. So the consensus was to follow the policy. Means everybody said yes, that we should follow this policy. So overall agreement. Okay. So I've given you the word adapt. I'll keep on writing them on the side here so that you can keep on writing them down. Adapt, adept, because I'm going to add some more. Agitate, and then I gave you benevolent, and now I'm giving the last one, consensus. So these are 5 of them. So I'll give you 5 more. Okay. So you understood this? Adapt, which all animals adapt to their surroundings. Adept, the engineer was adept and won laurels for his work. We should also try to make ourselves adept in our work. Agitate, to be upset. The crowd was agitated when the police, and turned into a mob when the police stopped them. Benevolent, generous, kind. Mother Teresa was a benevolent person. Consensus, overall agreement. The consensus was to follow the policy. And I will write here another word which I subsequently told you also, mob. Okay. And let's do some more. And you can also follow, like I had told you earlier, that these 5 words, adapt, adept, agitate, benevolent, consensus and mob. Okay. You can use these 5 words and frame a situation, so that those 5 vocabulary words are absolutely in your mind. Okay. The more you use the words, the more they will come to you. So these 5 words you can use. Okay. That adapt, adept, agitate, benevolent, consensus. Try making a situation and using these 5 words. Okay. And next class I will let you know. You try. I'm giving you these words. You try and try to make a situation, and the next class I will tell you how and we can use them. Now my next is candid. Candid. This is also a very good word. Direct, blunt, straightforward. straightforward, to be blunt, to be direct. Okay? So, being very candid. Candid means you speak out frankly. Okay? Even if you feel that it might not be, it will be unpleasant to hear, or people might not like what you're saying, but you are blunt. Okay? And direct. And so that means you're very candid. Okay? You put forward the situation directly. Okay? Without being very, without, just trying to soften it up. That is called blunt, to be blunt. Okay? So actually in day-to-day life situation, we should not be candid. Whatever we say, even if we are trying to oppose the other person, we should say it softly. Okay? Without hurting the other person's sentiments. Okay? So we should not be very blunt, very direct, very straightforward. Okay? This is a human quality that nobody likes to hear. Not so the bad thing also can be to spoken in a. For example, we are doing a group discussion, and somebody gives his opinion. And the other one wants to object to that opinion. What he says, he wants to go against it, but he need not say, "I don't agree with you." Okay, your suggestion is good, but I feel that this would be a better one. Okay, so without negating the other person, okay, like without putting the other person down, you present your own opinion and view. So that is a better way. Okay, so we should avoid and try not to be so blunt and candid. Okay, anything we should soften it. Okay, because after all, if somebody also tells us directly, we will also feel bad. Okay, so the other person will also. So try to soften up. Even if you want to say a negative thing, there are better ways to speak about. Like I had told you about how you, in a nasty situation, you need not become violent. You need not become so angry. Okay, you can with calmly the language that you use, it will diffuse the situation. In the same way, we should try not to be candid. Okay, his candid approach made him the odd one out. His candid approach made him the odd one out. Means that his blunt approach, his straightforward approach made him stand out. He was set alone. His candid approach made him the odd one out. Okay, nobody liked to mix with him, so he was the odd man, standing all by himself, and he became segregated. Okay, so candid approach means his blunt approach, his direct approach, his frank approach, his straightforward approach is not liked by others. Okay, next is culmination. This is an easy one. Culmination means end. All of you knew? Okay. Culmination means end. Final act. The final act. Or you can say the climax. Okay. So, conclusion. In other words, conclusion. So, culmination. Okay. The grand finale was the culmination of the cultural program. Okay. So, the grand finale means the end was so grand. Okay, that brought an end to the program, whatever it was, program was organized. Okay, so culmination, end, the final act, or the climax. Let's make a sentence. The grand finale brought the culmination to the cultural event. The grand finale brought the culmination to the cultural event, means brought an end to the cultural program. So the grand finale brought the culmination to the cultural event, means brought to the end, the final act. And last is contemplate. Contemplate means to think deeply. Okay, contemplate means to think deeply, to ponder, to thought. Whenever we are thinking, should I, any situation you are thinking about it, you're giving a deep thought. That is contemplation. Okay, you're not just saying, okay, let's do this. You are thinking this situation. Okay, I am giving a deep thought. Is this right or is this wrong? Suppose like parents, they want to they find that this child is that their child is not doing well in the school, and they want to they're thinking about deep thought that should we change the child's school, should they're contemplating, because they have to give a deep thought. It's a whole process, taking out the child, his he's used to his classmates, his school, the environment, the teachers, and then just shifting him to another school, new environment, new friends, new classmates, new teachers. Okay, so the whole thing is a great process and a great change for the child to adjust, to adapt. Okay, you used it. So it needs a deep thought. The parents just can't just pull out the child and put him in a new school. Okay, it will be a trauma for the child. So the parents have to really think deeply. Should we or should we not? Okay. So when we are in hesitation, I had earlier also told you one word, that when we can't decide, should I do this? Should I do that? Yes or no? Yes, no, yes, no. That is also called dilemma. Remember? All of you remember this word? When you have hesitation in deciding. Hesitation in deciding. Okay, that is called dilemma. And contemplate means to think deeply. Okay, so parents always contemplate before deciding anything. Okay, they think deeply before giving their decision. Okay, we must also contemplate before making a decision. Let's make a sentence. We should always contemplate before taking a decision. Okay, we should always contemplate before taking a decision. Means give a deep thought and then decide, take a decision. Okay, because remember, when we take a decision, we have to bear the consequences. Whatever the results are, we have to bear it. So the decision should be correct. Okay, so that we don't see some disadvantages or doesn't affect us adversely. Okay, so we should always contemplate before taking a decision. Means think deeply, give a deep thought. Okay, so let me add these words here. Mob, after that I added candid, then culmination, then contemplate, and the last one, the old ones I had told you, dilemma. Okay, so the new words, the next words are candid, direct, blunt, or straightforward. His candid approach made him the odd one out. Okay, culmination and the final act, climax. The grand finale brought the culmination to the cultural event. Contemplate, to think deeply. We should always contemplate before taking a decision. And dilemma, hesitation in deciding. Okay, when you are hesitant to decide whether to do it or not to do it, that means you are in a dilemma. And when you are thinking deeply, means you are contemplating. Okay, so these are some new words to add in your vocabulary. Students, please use them. They are not so difficult. They are quite easily, and these type of situations keep on arising, which I have told you about the vocabulary, and you can really use them. So try it, because I always tell you, God helps those who help themselves. So help yourself and make your English better at a higher level. Okay, and when you use a good vocabulary, it becomes flowery. Okay, so try out these words, try to use them in sentences, and I told you, take 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4 together and make a type of situation and try to use them in that. So, okay, so this way, that way, make sentences, make a situation, use them, speak them out, write them down, write the meaning, and these words you'll never forget. Okay, students? So today my class was of vocabulary, and to add to your word list, and I have given you work also, and please do that and help yourself and improve your spoken English. So thank you, students, and don't forget to subscribe, like and share, and God bless all of you.